Welcome to Detroit. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass. You can drown them. And that's what we gotta be. That's who we have to be. Because that's our domain. That is our domain. Because we'll tread water as long as it takes to fucking bury you.
Takes the snap, turns, gives to Montgomery, right side, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions! Yes.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, Detroit Lions friends, fans, and family members. Welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike. And as always, we're diving on in. So folks, for today's episode here, what we're going to talk about is, one, we're going to be taking a look at some of the highlights that were released yesterday from, after the second joint day of, practice between the Lions and the Dolphins. But rather than just talking about the highlights, I wanted to talk about something else. I wanted to talk about how, again, we have now come to yet another point where, for lack of a better phrase or word, Lions haters have gotten a severe reality check. And when I mean severe, I mean like you've got people now that are stumbling over themselves, trying to come up with any dag-blasted excuse that they could possibly come up with, because this is not at all what they were expecting from the Lions. And I'm telling you this right now. All of you guys out there that are watching, everybody that's been watching my show and probably also been watching a couple of other shows that I'm aware of that, I think are pretty good, you guys know exactly what I'm referring to. Because the point of the matter here is this. Ever since the Lions season ended against the Commanders last year, ever since Ben Johnson decided to turn traitor and instantaneously leave to go be the Bears head coach, ever since Aaron Glenn then followed shortly thereafter and became the Jets head coach, this narrative about the Detroit Lions literally falling apart has become the single most overused, lazy narrative that has been enforced by just about damn near virtually everybody this offseason. And when it comes to narratives, narrative basing or narrative creation is always, in my opinion, based upon what is the lowest hanging fruit on the tree, what is the easiest thing that we can go after to make a story, to make a narrative, so then that way we have something to talk about. And all this offseason, that has been the Detroit Lions. Because let's honestly think about this here just for half a damn second. You take a look at just about virtually any single major news outlet that talks about sports. You take a look at almost any major sports commentator, sports analyst, whatever have you, there's always been one of two things that's coming out right now. Either everybody's been wanting to say, I don't think the Lions are going to be as good because, they're going to take a step back offensively because Ben Johnson's not there. I don't think the defense is going to be as good because Aaron Glenn is not there anymore. I think that the Lions' Super Bowl window has closed or is closing. That's the first part of the narrative. But here's the funny part about this, is that there are some people out there that have already started to realize that that initial narrative has been proven to be absolutely 100% false and 100% premature. Because let's just think about this here. There have already been a couple of sports analysts that have already come out and said, yeah, you know what? That's not exactly what's happening. I already had my thoughts and opinions on this, and I think I was wrong. But the funny thing about it is that over the last few days, it has gotten even more pronounced. It's gotten even more widely accepted. Now, I'm not saying it's widely accepted everywhere. I'm just saying it's becoming more widely accepted. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, again, everybody and their brother outside of the Lions fan base, for the most part, and also within the national media circles, all wanted to say that there was no way in this life or the next that the Lions were going to have the same amount of success that they had last season. That it just was not going to happen. There was no way in hell it was going to happen. But yet, think about this. For all of the naysayers, for all of the haters, most of what they have based everything off of is off of conjecture, and it's based off of supposition, if you realistically want to think about it. There's been no evidence to actually support it. And what evidence that people have tried to use is very thinly veiled evidence. Like, it's there, but it's like, okay, here. There's not really a whole lot to back that up. There's just a couple of ones and two-piece hits here or there. So let's think about this. Let's talk about the offense here for a minute. If you take a look at the highlights that have been coming out all throughout freaking training camp, but especially over the last 2 days of joint training camp practice with the Miami Dolphins, it has already become apparently obvious to anybody with a brain stem. I mean, dude, you don't even have to have eyeballs. If you just have a brain stem and the ability to hear, you can figure out really damn quickly that, oh, yeah, we were wrong. I mean, you take a look at some of these clips as I put them back up on the screen, and you literally see, just for the offense, and let's bear this in mind, we're not even seeing the whole offense. We're just seeing the passing element of the offense. And that goes back to the whole situation I was talking about with Ben Johnson. Everybody wanted to say, because Ben Johnson was gone, Jared Goff was going to regress. Everybody wanted to say that Goff was going to take a step back, because without his blankie, without his pacifier, without his muse whispering whatever knots into his ear, he was not going to be the same quarterback. And they were using the exact same thing that they said when he left Sean McVay. Without Sean McVay, Goff's not going to be successful. Without Sean McVay, Goff can't win. Without Sean McVay, Goff just can't do anything. He can't even take a crap on the toilet, apparently. And yet, here we are. The clips that I've been showing, and even more clips that I'm showing now, they all show how idiotic, asininely insane those thoughts and opinions have been. I mean, you take a look at these clips. Goff is absolutely just destroying people. Say what you want. I've seen this from a couple of fans in the comments, and I've seen this from other people, from other fans. It's like, listen, I don't give a damn if it's just practice. I don't give a damn if it's just preseason. Because here's the thing. How do you get better? How do you get yourself ready for the regular season? How do you get ready to be able to do that when it actually does come time to do it in a game situation? You have to do it in practice. You have to do it during training camp. You have to do it during the preseason when, oh, that's right, you're not actually in preseason games. So when you actually have a chance to be in as close to a game situation as you possibly can against opposing competition like the Miami Dolphins, that's when it's your time to step up to the plate. That's your time to step up and make plays. And yet, every single time I take a turn on Twitter, every time I take a turn reading reports, whether it's from, Justin Rogers, whether it's from Tim Twentyman, whether it's from whoever, I keep hearing the exact same thing. Goff is absolutely lighting people up like a damn Christmas tree. Carving them like Thanksgiving turkeys. I mean, for crying out loud, I mean, you take a look at probably the two best plays that we have seen out of Jared Goff in this receiving element over the last 2 days. One was to Amon-Ra St. Brown, the other was to Jamison Williams. And you know exactly which ones I'm referring to. The one to Amon-Ra St. Brown was in the first day of joint training camp practice. Absolutely precise as hell pass. Ball is put exactly where it should be. But the thing that makes this pass so memorable, absolutely what everybody was talking about and is still somewhat talking about, is how Amon-Ra St. Brown, the connection, the chemistry, the rapport that he has with Jared Goff, he's able to snag this ball out of the air one-handed like David Tyree with the helmet catch, but in the inverse, in the fact that he made the catch off of the freaking opposing player's helmet. Maintains possession, maintains control all the way out of bounds. That type of accuracy, That type of precision, that ability of that receiver to literally concentrate through all hell that's breaking loose around him and still make the play, absolutely just 100% shows that Ben Johnson, again, was not the reason why this freaking offense ticked. Was not the reason why this offense did what it could. It's the players, and it's the star players, the ones that really make the difference. Your Jared Goff, your Amon-Ra St. Brown, your Jahmyr Gibbs, your Jameson Williams. But think about this. It's also all those other guys that nobody is talking about just yet, or they only get talked about here and there. Your guys like, hey, you know what? Your Tim Patricks. Now you can include your Isaac Teslas. You can now include other guys that have been added into this mix. But the other thing that I find so absolutely just wonderful was that video, that clip that came out yesterday of Jameson Williams. Because, again, that was Jameson Williams letting his play do the talking. That was not him jacking his jaw. That was not him saying a whole bunch of crap before practice. That wasn't him saying a whole bunch of crap, whatever. He went out and he made a great play by absolutely roasting the freaking defensive secondary. And again, you take a look at the throw. Goff puts that ball exactly where it should be. JMO doesn't have to break stride. He doesn't have to slow down. He literally just has to run, get under the damn thing, and in essence, waltz right into the damn end zone. What you're seeing here is the exact same nonsense that I have been talking about that is being disproven on such an enormous level by how Goff and these receivers are performing against opposing NFL competition. Like I said, everyone wanted to say that without Ben Johnson, Jared Goff was going to take a step back. In essence, saying he's not going to be the same type of quarterback. He's not going to be as precise. He's not going to be as efficient. He's not going to be as accurate. Blah, 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 blah. Both clips show that one in absolutely spades to be a completely duplicitous lie. But the other thing about it is that what has been the thought and process behind, everything to do with Jared Goff? He's a noodle arm quarterback. He's not a guy that's going to push the ball down the field. He's not a guy that's going to, try and test the defense. He's a check down Charlie. He's a yak king. Well, here's the funny part. That clip against Jameson Williams and all those other clips that I showed earlier about Amon-Ra St. Brown just absolutely being wide ass open and nobody around him for days show that Goff has absolutely no problem testing a defense. In fact, I think a serious conversation needs to be now being a serious conversation, an argument now needs to be made that he is criminally underrated when it comes to his ability to push the ball down the field. He is criminally underrated when it comes to his ability as a deep ball passer. Because think about it, even Goff himself has said, you know what, yeah, we're starting to connect on those. Starting to connect? Dude, you've been absolutely lighting people up in the 20-plus yard region. And when you want to talk about bombs, almost every single time I see you throw a ball to Jameson Williams, it's going for like almost a good 30, 40 yards. Almost every damn time. And again, you go back to what Goff has also stated. He's like, oh yeah, you know what? The last couple of days, our offense has been really starting to gel. We've stacked a couple of good practices, but we're not where we want to be yet. Dude, I'm just telling you, the fact that this Lions offense, I don't know how else to put it, but this offense has an attitude about it. Again, I've said this before. They may not listen to what people have been saying about them, but I guarantee you this, sure as God made little green apples, they hear about it, they bank it, and they store it as motivating factors. Because they're like, okay, you think that's what we have? You think that's what we don't have? You think that's what we can or can't do? Let us show you exactly what we can do. And let us show you that that's not all we can do. That's just scratching the bare damn surface. Think about that. Let that one stew around in your cranium for just a half a damn second. Because let me put it out here for you. How many offenses have had the same scrutiny this offseason after being the best damn offense last year? How many offenses have had so many people wanted to say, yeah, you know what, this team's just not going to be the same because they lost their offensive coordinator. They lost their muse. And yet, once our offense stops going up against our defense, which I think, again, another serious argument needs to now be made that, hey, you know what, this defense could be the best one in the NFL. The way they're playing, the way they're performing in practice, and again, FYI here, they're not even fully healthy. Think about this. That's what our offense is able to do when it's not performing against our defense. When we are performing against our defense, what was the report that everybody wanted to say was the, culmination and proof that this offense and John Morton was not going to make things work? Oh, it's stuttering a little bit. It's a little bit more rocky of a transition than what we were expecting. Let's understand something here. When you go up against our defense, apparently the way it's been practicing, you're going to have a hard day all damn together. That's what it's going to be like. So as soon as we're no longer going up against that defense, like Goff said, it's like, hey, you know what? It's kind of nice that we don't have to go up against each other anymore. It's kind of nice we don't have to deal with our own headache. We can try and put that out on somebody else. Oh my God. This Lions offense looks like one of the best that the NFL has ever seen. And again, I think it looks even better than what it did last year. Now, when you flip on that narrative and you go to the defense and how everyone wanted to say, oh yeah, you know what? Aaron Glenn was the heart and soul of that defense. Aaron Glenn was the one that made that defense absolutely, do what it could do despite having all the injuries. And you know what? To a certain extent, I will at least back up that last portion. Because Aaron Glenn definitely, I will say this, had abilities that are more similar to, Dan Campbell as far as motivating players, as far as being able to get players to play better than what they are, because that is the kind of person that he is. He's very similar to Campbell in that. Probably part of the reason why they're as good of friends as they are. But here's what I will say. Dan Campbell absolutely knocked it out of the damn park yet again when he hired Kelvin Shepard. Because Kelvin Shepard, once again, falls from that exact same frame of mindset. Passionate, motivational, extremely energetic. All the things that fall within the exact same branch, the exact same tree of what Bill Parcells used to do. Hey, I'm gonna be on your ass, but I'm gonna do so in a way that motivates you. And I'm not gonna do it to demean you. I'm gonna do it to find a way to motivate you. I'm gonna find a way to get you to do better than what you yourself think you can even do. And think about it. Even though Kelvin Shepard, first-time defensive coordinator, has had no play calling experience prior to this, which, oh yeah, I've heard that narrative all damn offseason. You guys ain't gonna do nothing. You guys got a guy that's never called plays on defense before. Okay, he might not have gotten the official call or nod of being the play caller, but this is a guy that for the last 2 years has been personally groomed by both Campbell and by both Glenn to take over, was calling plays on the sideline unofficially before even Glenn was putting in the exact same damn play. And now we're seeing the reports that are coming out of practice that this defense is just absolutely a monster. It's absolutely just tremendous how freaking ridiculous they are getting after people in practice. Whether it's Aiden Hutchinson, whether it's the cornerbacks, the defensive backs, whether it's the fact that, hey, you know what? The amount of pressure and the amount of ability that is on the field to just absolutely throw, chaos to an offensive operation, it's all over. Like, dude, think about this. Just put this inside of your brain and let it stew. You have an offense that can do virtually anything it wants, and it's only limited by the imagination that Goff and John Morton and David Shaw and the rest of them can put all together, that they can concoct together. That's the limit that they have. And they can either burn you slowly or they can roast you right away. And then on the opposite hand, you have a defense that absolutely can suffocate you as if you weren't even there, as if you're not even a threat, as if you have no ability to stop them. You have the ability to pressure from the edges. You have the ability to pressure from the interior. You have probably one of the better linebacking cores in the NFL. And on top of that, you have an absolutely physically aggressive, sticky defensive back secondary that makes trying to throw the ball almost a nightmare. And heaven help the quarterback that feels like, oh, you know what? I don't want to try and throw the ball with Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch lurking back there. Because, oh yeah, that's right, that's Pick City. That is what you call a no-fly zone. That's my point, folks. All offseason, we've heard the exact same damn, stupid, tired narratives. That this offense and defense was not going to be able to do what everybody thought that they were going to be able to do from last year. And you know what? The only part about that that's right is you know what? You are right in that regard. They're not going to do what we thought they could do last year. They're going to do even better. And so far, they're already proving they're doing even better. And the best part is they don't even think that they've touched the surface of what they can do. In fact, they know they haven't touched the surface. They realize that, hey, we're just getting started here. The engine isn't even fully revved up. The engine isn't even fully running hot yet. That's what makes this so embarrassing in the bad sense for those people that wanted to push that narrative, for the haters that wanted to push that narrative. Because they themselves now have to realize, my God, once again, we were wrong. We once again got it completely wrong about the Detroit Lions, which you would think after the last 4 years of trying to say the Lions can't do this, the Lions can't do that, they're not talented enough for this, they don't have the players for that. Every single time they wanted to open their mouth and say that, what happened? Oh, that's right. The Lions went out and proved them wrong. And in epic, humiliating fashion. Facts be facts. That's why I say what I say. The Lions haters, they have been getting a severe reality check the last couple of days, and they're about to get an even more severe reality check as the days go by, and especially once we get to the regular season. But anyway, folks, hopefully this content spoke to you. Hopefully I was able to connect some dots and really speak something that you enjoyed. But having said that, I'm going to end this episode and say thank you all for watching yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, highly encourage y'all to watch the next episode I got coming up. Hope you all are enjoying the content, and if you are, I hope to gain your subscription if I've not done so already. But if you subscribed in the past, I also hope that you will please make sure to hit that bell notification icon so that you guys never miss any more content that I push out. Hope everybody has something in their life that makes them happy, makes them smile. God bless, my friends. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.